He was among the first operatives to help Donald Trump put out feelers years before Trump ran for president. Now, President Donald Trump appears to be in the crosshairs of special counsel Robert Mueller because of a recent subpoena calling for communications between this witness and former Trump campaign officials. Charlie Gasparino has been working the story. Charlie.
Yeah, well, the witnesses, as you know, Sam Nunberg. And, you know, Liz, I want to say this. You and I know Sam. I do not want to be doing this story right now. You know, when I spoke to Sam earlier today, you know, when he told me this stuff that he wanted to go public with it, he wanted me to break it, I asked him 3 times whether he was sure and is he of sound mind to do this. And because I didn't think he was, he shouldn't have been tough. Because he told me he was drinking. And I'll tell you that I just watched him on MSNBC and CNN. And the man needs help, and that's now that he's out there, I'm going to report it. I have the subpoena right in my hand, and it's a grand jury subpoena where they're asking him for some very, very detailed questions on various Trump people in the Trump orbit as part of Robert Mueller's probe into Russian collusion in the 2016 election. And I'll give you some of the names: Carter Page, Corey Lewandowski, Donald J. Trump, Hope Hicks, Keith Schiller, the personal bodyguard for President Trump, former anyway, Michael Cohen, Trump's personal lawyer, Paul Manafort, his former campaign manager, Rick Gates, who worked with Paul Manafort. Both of those gentlemen have been indicted. Roger Stone, who worked with Sam way back in 2011 when they first were with President Trump when he was exploring whether to run for president. Right. And Steve Bannon, who I guess you know who he is, the former chief over at Breitbart and senior advisor to the president. This subpoena asked for all communications between Sam and these guys delivered to the FBI's special counsel's office, and there it is, and it's asking for everything. What do they want from Sam Nunberg, who's scheduled, from what I understand, to testify on Friday before a grand jury, although he's telling people he's not going to go? Which I think means you can get arrested if they want you in there. But anyway, what are they going to ask him? Well, from what I understand, they're looking at, you know, just communications with these folks, but they're going to ask about interactions with past and former Trump officials. They're going to ask him a lot about his old boss, Roger Stone, and Stone's connections with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, whether there was some sort of a effort to involve WikiLeaks with Russian nationals to hack into email servers. At least that's what some of the questions that the Mueller's office is asking is likely to ask Trump before the grand jury. Likely to ask Nunberg before the grand jury. I think they're going to ask about Hope Hicks. Obviously, they're going to ask about Roger Stone, Carter Page, Steve Bannon. They're going to ask about the Trump Hotel in Moscow. It was an aborted effort to build a hotel there right around the time Donald Trump announced, I believe in 2015, June 2015, you know, there was talk about building a hotel over there, whether Trump ran on it, and who were the various players involved there. This is very wide-ranging, and it's, you know, you can only assume stuff from questions they're asking people, like Sam. You don't know what they have, and you don't know if they have anything. You don't know if it's a massive fishing expedition, or you don't know if it's if they're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But they want him in there on Friday to talk to the grand jury. And I will say this again: if you're listening, Sam, get help. I mean, what I just witnessed was a train wreck, and I feel badly for the guy. That, you know, Liz, when as reporters we get to know people and you become friendly with them, and you know, we do have an obligation, professional obligation. But you know, I didn't feel it was my professional obligation to blow this guy up. I think he felt it was his professional that he should do it himself. Is
your professional observation that he is now unlikely to testify? He's unlikely to walk in front of that grand jury? You
know, listen, here's the thing. The FBI was already annoyed at him, and annoyed is putting it mildly, or it's not the FBI, Mueller's office, the special counsel's office, for the various leaks over the weekend involving him, you know, and his appearance before them. They were not happy about that. So, you know, I don't know what they can do. I mean, listen, I don't think there's a crime to say that you've been subpoenaed. I don't think there's a crime to say, here's what people asked me during a meeting with the special counsel's office. it is a crime to give up stuff about a grand jury.
Yeah.
So as long as he doesn't say what he says inside the grand jury. Now, he's saying he's not going to go. Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you get a grand jury subpoena, you got to go. But that's the sideshow. If you look at this witness list, I mean, clearly the President of the United States is under investigation. I mean, this is serious stuff, and you can say lock up Hillary, crooked H.
The markets are not shaken at all here.
Well, as long as he doesn't as long as he cuts taxes and doesn't get in a trade war, we should be fine in terms of the markets.